Wah, wah, wah. Hello, Blue Fleet. How we doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Hades. How you going? Welcome back to AAI2. Carrying on with case number 4 today. So we are on case number 4, which is Turnabout Forsaken. And Kay's just admitted to being the culprit. So, well, I guess that's the case of. We've wrapped it up. Alright, good job, guys. I'll see you soon. No, imagine. Hey, Zach, how are we doing? I'm not too bad, thanks. I hope you're having a good one. I didn't stream last night. Work got so stressful, I had an actual mental breakdown. So I thought, you know what? Let's take last night off, freshen myself up a bit, get myself back in the game, and now here we are. We're ready for it, right? We're ready for it. So, let's jump back on in, shall we? Where were we? Judge Gavelle's goal. Why can't we just, like, get to case number 5 where she's the victim and I'm immeasurably happier? Why? Why do we have to suffer her for even longer? Disgraceful. Oh. Get the amount of health back up? A little bit, yeah. I took last night off. I sat down with the cats. I watched TV. I carried working on my Metroid ROM hack, and I feel a lot better for it, to be honest. So yeah, things are on the up and up. It's not as... I mean, I'm still stressed out at the minute, but, like, I'm medicated again. So, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Never thought I'd spend another night in here again. And they stripped me of all the evidence we'd so painstakingly gathered. Even if they did let me keep Kei's Yasugarasu pin. I can't help but worry about her. They better be treating her well. The murderer, it was me. I remember looking down and the person in the red raincoat was on the ground. It was me, Mr. Edgeworth. It was me all along. I'm the murderer. I'm the murderer. I don't think I hope she's not. Go on, let's go. You got a visitor. A visitor? Who? Yeah, who indeed? Someone by the name of Dick Gumshoe. Want me to send him away? No. Though I'm not sure what to even say to him. Oh, this is weird. This is super weird. Wait there. They're leaving me unsupervised. Forgive the intrusion. Wait, what? That's not Gumshoe! Judge Gavelle! Please, Mr. Edgeworth. Take a seat. I don't trust this. What are you doing here? I was told it was Detective Gumshoe. I imagined you wouldn't come if you knew it was me. What could she possibly want from me now? I suppose I'd better find out. I don't care for this. Objection! Miss Faraday is currently being interrogated about her involvement in the murder. You and the committee, you know what you're doing, don't you? You know that the wrongful arrest and persecution of an innocent person is beyond reprehensible. That's quite the slanderous remark. I would ask that you frame your outburst with a little more care. Besides, she is not innocent. You merely wish that she is. No, she is innocent, you absolute bitch. How fucking dare you, with your lightning bolt ass hair. You can't say that. You don't have conclusive proof. Nor do you have conclusive proof to the contrary. Let's not retread this tired old topic again. She will go to trial, and the goddess will pass her judgment. There is nothing you can do to stop that. You would argue that no one's innocent, that's not a good time. You know what? Yeah, it's true. Especially not you guys in chat. I've seen your browser history. I know what you fab to, you dirty devils, you deviant dandies. Instead, let us speak of the matter at hand. Like, let's not. Let's not. You may not be aware of this, but you are only permitted to meet with specially approved visitors. So I'm to be treated like a dangerous criminal, am I? I suppose my reputation has rather plummeted. It has indeed. For you, of course, and your friends. Your browser history is full of star sector mods. The only thing I can feel pissy for is your RAM. Yeah, you've been looking at lewd pictures of RAM. Why not Wait, what the fuck is a REM? Why did that come into my brain? What the fuck is a REM? Well, never mind, let's move on. That attorney and the other girl were raising quite the fuss earlier. Fender and Emma. I saw them launch some extremely heated words at one of the guards. No, you didn't. You may thank the goddess in that regard, for even she is too busy to deal with each and every infraction. They will not be punished for their bad behaviour. Did you come here just to chit-chat with me? You must have a lot of time on your hands. Oh, speaking of which, Miss Von Karma is continuing the investigation where you left off. I just thought you would like to know. I figured you would be worried about how they were all doing. I hate to admit it, but she read me like a book. What is your motive? Let's cut to the chase, Your Honor. Why are you really here? I'm here simply to talk, nothing more. There is something I wish to know about you. Me? Yes, who else? Objectively speaking, you are highly intelligent and quick-witted. Yet, no. I think you will find that Edgeworth is not swayed by flattering words from a boob creature, right? Edgeworth is only swayed by the flattering words of a testiculon, such as Phoenix. This is because Edgeworth is extremely gay. Like, you cannot butter him up if you're a woman. It's just not going to work. It's just not going to work at all. No chance. No. 0%. No. Just doesn't work. Too quick on the right worth, you didn't have time. Personally, I think I'm just the right amount of quick on the right worth. Yeah. And a born prosecutor at that. Yeah, it's not going to work. Please, Judge Gavelle. Your sarcastic praises but salt on my wounds. But I sincerely mean every word, Mr. Edgeworth, and it is while I fail to understand you. Take this latest case, for example. You were up against the very committee itself. You had no hope of succeeding. Even a child could have seen that. And yet... I don't imagine the old me would have ever been so reckless. The old me had power, and because of that I thought that justice was always on my side. Just as you and the committee believe now. But a certain person changed my mind. He made me reckon my selfish and skewed sense of justice, and also his gargantuan penis. And once the scales had fallen from my eyes, as well as other things, I began to look at people differently. Oh. I need to behave myself, don't I? No, you know what? Hold on. Yeah, I deserved that one now. Okay. Oh, what's going on? Oh, there we go. If we don't take the battles with sure solutions just for the sake of our ideas, what are we really believing? Yeah, exactly. I saw that I was only able to be an effective prosecutor thanks to the efforts of those around me. Detective Gumshoe, the many investigative officers of the force, and even Kay. One moment, sorry, my stream monitor's being a bit funky. Let me just sort this. There we go. If I put that there, that works. It changed me. The degree to which it changed me still surprises me to this day. I see. Well, I don't ship this? No, I don't. The thing is, Zach, like, Edgeworth is, like, turbo gay. And it's Phoenix. Phoenix is the one that he is in love with. Like, Judge Gavelle has nothing that Edgeworth wants. She's just got nothing to offer him. She has nothing at all to offer him. You know, she's like, oh, I'm the judge. I got the law on my side. I got the boobies. And he's just like, no, I crave penis. And that of Phoenix Wright only. Please understand, not even Gumshoe can sway me with his sexy body. I see. Thank you. I feel that perhaps I understand you a little better now. You understand me? I highly doubt it. Someone who is so focused on forcing their idea of justice onto others can't possibly see what I see. Is that so? Is that what you truly believe? You realise people aren't just objects, they could be objects of affection? Yes. Exactly. I will say one thing. This has been a very interesting conversation. That is all. Before I go, there is one remaining matter. I was asked to inform you that the date of your hearing has been confirmed. It will be held today, in the trial chamber. The committee sends its warmest regards. Fuck you! If that was all you had to tell me, you could have just sent a message. And entrust the goddess's words to another. That wouldn't do now, would it? Until then, Mr. Edgeworth, I'll see you again very shortly. I wish you wouldn't. Come on, guys. Come on, fingers crossed, toes crossed, bollocks crossed. She's going to be the next victim. 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 I'm praying. I am on my knees. I am on my knees! I beg. I beg. I beg. I'm right, aren't I, Ara? I'm right, aren't I? Yeah. Yeah, I'm right, aren't I? I've done it again, haven't I, Ara? I've predicted it correctly again. Where's the? Hang on. Where's my sweat? Where's the sweat? There we go. Let you hit the reset button. Oh, okay. Ah! Ah! Oh. Well, there's nothing left for it. It is time to become Skibbity Edgeworth. You think one of those got the reset button? You'd hope. There's a note on the wall next to the toilet. Sorry, we're currently out of toilet paper. Please make the necessary mental preparations before using the toilet. What sort of mental preparations can one even make? I've barely spent any time here, and already I can feel my personal appearance slipping. I may have given up on my badge, but I mustn't give up on myself. My collar, it's slightly creased. There, a tidy outside begets a tidy inside. Which is why it's more important now than ever to take care of myself. Do I want the juicy spoils or not? No. No, let's hold fire. I'm just gonna hope. French prison, it's underfunded and guilty of multiple human rights violations. Soon Edgeworth's gonna have 7 cellmates. Oh, beautiful. And they'll all be like, ho ho ho, viva la revolution. Ho 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 ho. Just like that. There's a menu here on the table. It seems that detainees are able to pay to have their meals brought to their cells. What looks good? Spaghetti and mac and cheese lunch. Add linguine for only $1. Basmati and brown rice special for a limited time only. Add regular white rice at no extra cost. It's probably for the best that I'm not very hungry. A very basic bed. I can't say it was very comfortable to sleep on, however. I imagine Detective Gumshoe would sleep soundly on it nevertheless, loudly snoring all the while. I suppose we'll probably never get to work together again. But I don't have any regrets about the bed I've made. I will follow my own path to the end. Back in Scotland, you learned that prisons would often resonate with the French anthem due to the majority of prisoners being French. Yeah. I mean, the Scots and the French have always been pretty staunch allies, right? And the one thing that unites them is hatred of the English, which I think is just very based. You know, I'm saying this as an English guy. I think the fact that the Scots and the French are just united by how much they hate England is very funny. The window is barred with heavy steel. That reminds me of a movie I once saw. A prison inmate hatched a plot to escape by using a file to cut his cell bars. I won't be doing that, of course. For one thing, I don't have a file on me at the moment. What am I saying? I wouldn't do it even if I had one. Who did Edgy kill this time? This is actually his dance studio. Jibba 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 jim jim, jibba jim jim, jibba jibba jim jim. Yeah, we've already done that joke before on this this series, but it's all good, right? There's a poster in the corridor outside. We regret to announce that due to the warden's arrest, the Die of Destiny game will be discontinued. Inmates will no longer need to roll a die every morning to determine their meals for the day. We wholeheartedly apologise to those who are looking forward to their daily casting of the die. Did anyone really need an apology for the cessation of such a ridiculous idea in the first place? Do I have another visitor? Oh. Kay. Oh, thank goodness you seem alright. That's a load off of my mind. Oh, such a heartwarming scene. It's enough to make a grown man cry. But you're still not your usual cheery... I mean, you have to say positive, Kay. Feels rather extreme for D&D, yeah. You didn't do anything wrong. In fact, I guarantee you didn't. No, you have to let it go. I'm the murderer. I know that now. But you're not. You can't be. Why don't you have any faith in yourself? How can I, Mr. Edgeworth, when there's no me left to believe in? None at all. I don't think that's true. Before you lost your memory, we spent quite a bit of time together. And I dare say you left quite the impression on me. So you see, there's still plenty of you left. That's why I believe so much in your innocence. And why you should believe in yourself too. Thank you. But I can't. It just caused more pain for the both of us. Please. You have to forget her. Forget that, Kay. She's gone. No, she's not. Kay, no! You remind me of my younger self, you know. So noble. So bold. This is the justice you and the committee stand for? Justice? Well, I suppose you could call it that. What is he up to? Why is he going to such lengths to control everything? I can't shake the feeling something is very wrong here. Is there some hidden agenda at play? Oh, there's no time to second guess myself. If I'm going to find out what it is, it's now or never. Well then, my boy. I suppose I should be. Wait. Oh. Why is the chairman so intent on seeing Kay charged with this murder? It doesn't make any sense. We got mind chess already. Alright. Crack my knuckles back in place. I hope you guys heard that. That was, like, very satisfying. Do you ever find, like, you crack your knuckles and it just feels really fucking good? I love that. Right, okay. Edgeworth so powerfully can force the mind chess. Yeah. And you know what powers this? Is the fact that Edgeworth came from the land of From Under. From under these nuts. Okay, I'll behave. A very complex mind chess sequence, understood. There must be some rhyme or reason to this madness. Ow. Come now, Miles. I'm a busy, important man. I can't be wasting my precious time talking to you. The only way out of our current predicament is through Chairman Winner. There's so much to ask and so little time. Let's start by trying to find out why he rushed to have Kay arrested so quickly. I can't just let this happen. I'm getting answers if it's the last thing I do. Just square it and it becomes a real mind chess sequence? Oh, God. Okay. Why were you so keen to push through Kay's arrest? I've yet to hear a satisfactory explanation. An explanation? I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Don't give me that. You know exactly what I mean. Tut-tut. I advise you to moderate your tone, dear boy. Need to remind you of your position. I saw maths I died a little. Yes, I did. And suppose we did let your friend go free. What then? What do you mean, what then? Think how that'd look, my boy. And who would have to take the blame? Me, that's who. He's angry. You're right to keep your mouth shut. That way you won't say anything foolish. Sorry, but I can't stay silent forever. Not while Kay's innocence is still in doubt. Oh, you're breaking my heart. Just look at this flood of tears. Spilling out. Please, just leave it alone, will you? Things were coming along nicely until you interfered. Interfered? Coming along nicely? That's a pretty strange way of putting it. It's almost as if you wanted Kay's arrest to happen. It certainly doesn't sound like the statement of an impartial representative of the law. Fun to tease the English, but resentment doesn't do anyone any good. No, Zach, hating the English is the right choice every single time. And I say this as someone who is English, right? Because no one hates the English more than the English. You know that meme from The Simpsons about Scots and Scotland? You know, Scots and all their enemies, and it's like, it ends with, damn Scots, they ruined Scotland. Like, that is the English. Everyone in one part of England hates everyone in every other part of England. It's just how things are. The North hates the South hates the North South hates the slightly more South hates every single thing, except the Irish. The Welsh are just, they're just like, WTF, mates. And, yeah, the Scots are just, they're just, like, hanging out with the French, just waiting to just beat people up. Britain's a very weird little island.
You think so? Well, that wasn't my intention. Has it occurred to you that you might just be overthinking things a little?
Chairman Winner certainly knows how to dodge a question, but it doesn't change the fact that serious doubts remain concerning Kay's arrest. Next, we'll need to press him on whether he really believes the investigation was sufficient. Okay, we're gonna save scum our way through this, because I'm a safe scummy motherfucker, right? Okay. We can't allow any of his statements to go unexamined, no matter how trivial they may seem. One of the majors gives us the breakthrough we need. You can hardly say your investigation was sufficient, and you're the one who called all the shots, weren't you? Including the decision to have Kay arrested.
Oh ho ho, I'm afraid I'm nowhere near as influential as you think, dear boy.
You're the chairman of the committee. It doesn't get much more influential than that. Not that I care about such things.
You wound me. It's enough to drive an old man to tears.
You'll have to forgive me. I'm not the deferential type.
Well, if you're going to insist on being so blunt, then I'm afraid you won't be seeing your prosecutor's badge again anytime soon.
Oh.
Nothing more to say. Wonderful, then I'll be on my way.
Oh, that's wrong. Okay. 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 Someone with distant Scottish heritage, you'd rather the Scottish be known for being aggressively glad to be Scottish than being bitter against the English. Yeah, that's true. The Scots have a very rich heritage. Like, and I would love to go up to Scotland one day. Just, you know, take in some of that. As far as people go, right, us in the north of England have much more in common with the Scots than the south of England. Like, we don't like the south of England. We like the Scots. The Scots, they tolerate us. You know, they're like, well, you're English, but you're not dickhead London English. So, you know, you can sit in the pub, just like, you know, stay in your corner, right? No better feeling walking down Princess Street hearing 3 bagpipes players? Yeah. Okay, so we need to... I don't need that badge anyway. Let me make something clear once and for all. That badge isn't the be-all end-all for me. Far from it. I'm not concerned with titles or roles. Even you must understand that much.
So young, so very young. A word of advice, Miles, from somebody who's been around the block. You're hopelessly naive, my boy. Idiotically so.
Well, that certainly got under his skin. He might be less guarded in his answers while he's in this state. Now's my chance. How much time was spent on your investigation altogether?
My, you really don't give up, do you? But even my patience has its limits, you know.
What a coincidence, so does mine. Now answer the question, do you believe that your investigation was sufficient or not? What about the Cornish? The Cornish are just weird. They're just straight up strange. Like, the Cornish have an independence terrorist cell movement. The Cornish have that. I ain't got no beef with the Cornish. I think they're sound. You know, they're not Londoners. They're good by me.
Ah, the youth these days are wont to be reckless. Makes me want to put you in your place. You're gonna regret that, my boy. Well, maybe you do know your place after all. What's the matter? Scared? Ho ho ho!
Hardly. I was just thinking about how best to proceed. Getting answers from the elderly requires sensitivity. They can get quite emotional after all.
You have no common sense whatsoever, do you? Don't you understand? Your fate rests in my hands.
I'm not sure what the best answer is here. Common sense ain't that common. No, that's true. I've got you now. You're backed into a corner and you don't even know it. No, he's not.
What are you going on about all by your lonesome over there? You need to cut an old man like me some slack. I can't keep up with all that youthful energy.
Okay. The awkward moment when you accidentally fund an IRA, not every time. I'm just kidding. Oh, ow. Okay. So he's burning things. I think when he burns things, we need to bide. I think we have to bide when he burns.
Let's say you do manage to get some answers from me. There's nothing you can do with them, so why not give it up, dear boy?
No.
And why not?
It's simple. Because I'm not about to let the truth escape me.
Interesting. I think I'm beginning to see what makes you tick. But what you're doing is pointless. Tragically. Miserably pointless. Please just give up. She's guilty. The decision has been made.
Has it now? The decision has been made? Once again, your choice of words intrigues me. It's almost as if Kay's guilt has already been determined from before her arrest.
What are you trying to imply?
But you plan to have her arrested. I'm implying that things haven't gone as they normally should. Everything's so sad. Yeah, he's just crying. He's just a sad boy, isn't he? In fact, everything has proceeded as if Kate's arrest was the end goal right from the very start. Well, Chairman Winner, was it?
That's certainly an intriguing theory. But it's also a complete work of fiction. And I'm afraid I don't have time for such flights of fancy. I think it's time we brought this shabby little farce to an end, don't you?
No, he's trying to make his escape. We must confirm the legality of Kay's arrest before he slips away. Guys, give me just a second. I just need to go and get myself a drink. Because like this guy's voice is really hard in the throat. Bear with me a second. I'll be right back, alright? Right, we're back. Okay. It's going to go really fast now, isn't it? Okay. It's faint, but the truth is finally beginning to emerge. I'm not about to let this opportunity pass me by. Kay is innocent.
No, my boy, that's just clumsy. Anyone can blurt out a baseless assertion like that, even a disgraced superstar prosecutor.
That's just instant health loss. It's no good. I haven't mentioned to take this any further just yet. The same sound as the XP bar in Fire Emblem filling up. My chance will come. I just have to be ready when it does. Wait, we're not done yet.
I'm tired of all this talking. So make it brief, will you?
Based on everything I've heard from you so far, it's clear that Kay's arrest is entirely unfounded.
Yes, I think we're all familiar with this particular refrain of yours by now. But I'm afraid it doesn't matter either way. You don't have what it takes to secure a release anyhow.
How dare you take this so lightly as a man of the law?
My, aren't you a rude little boy? But my fuse is only so long. Honestly speaking, I don't have the time to waste on every last question you can dream of. I have certain responsibilities to attend to, you know. I really am quite the busy man.
Or are you just pretending to be busy?
That's an awful thing to say to a fragile old man. I'll work harder than I should at my age. I ask you, my boy, what could I even hope to accomplish by putting up such a pretense?
You obviously don't want to talk about the case anymore. That's why you're so keen to get out of this conversation, isn't it?
It's just so tragic. It really is. That you would suspect me of such things.
It's not a suspicion, it's a certainty. There were no clear grounds on which to base Kay's arrest for a start.
Now, my boy, let's not get carried away. There was plenty of evidence to support our case.
Have you noticed that, for an old man, he is ridiculously shredded? Like, not even Ravenbeak from Metroid Dread was this jacked. And he has an 8-pack. You heard it here first. Kay Faraday's arrest isn't based.
The mask, the letter, the corsage, these were all in her possession. And of course, her confession. More than enough to prove her guilt, I'd say.
But those are...
What's the matter? Struggling to come up with a way to explain everything away. Well, there we have it. Your silence speaks volumes.
It's true I can't counter your argument right now, but you did list something valuable, Slope. A suspiciously detailed knowledge of the evidence against Kay. He rattled off that list like he knew it inside out, and I think that might prove to be a valuable clue. Hold on. I think we go for Kay as innocent now. Let me try it. Nope. I don't want to give up my bar for that. So we have to go back to the other one. Hold on. I thought that was a roll of the dice, right? I was chancing it there. I was chancing it there. Who gave the order? Who decided that Kay should be arrested?
You know, I can't seem to remember. Don't ever get old, Miles, my boy. It wreaks havoc on the memory.
I'd appreciate it if you'd stop playing the old man card. You remember the details of the evidence against Kay pretty clearly. Perhaps if your memory didn't fail you only when it was convenient, I'd be more inclined to believe you. So let me ask you again, who gave the order for Kay's arrest?
You're a sharp one, I'll give you that. My son could learn a thing or two from you. If you want such an incurable numbskull, that is. It's a tragedy, really.
I don't want to hear about your son. I want to know who authorized the arrest.
You're very mean, you know that, don't you?
The arrest, you say?
I believe the order was given by...
You, of course. Judge Gavelle. Come now, Chairman Winner, we both know it was you.
Alright, you got me. You make it sound like it was somehow a bad thing, though.
But I have a reputation to uphold, so I guess I'd better clear up this little misunderstanding. I'll entertain your questions for a few more minutes. Let's see if I can't put your mind at ease. The key thing to do now is to establish how intimately he knows the details of the case. Hey there, Zoe, welcome in. How are we doing? Welcome to Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Just have to ask the right questions. The end game is at hand. We're but a few moves away from the truth. Let's save scum. Right, let's go. The suspect, Kay Faraday. How much do you know about her exactly?
I know that she's the suspect. Aside from that, not much else. Cross my heart, but it's true.
I don't have a clue as to how to proceed with this line of questioning, and I better try another tack for now. You seem to know the case in quite some detail.
I know about lots of things, my boy. I'm just smart like that.
Too bad the same can't be said about the way you handled Kay's arrest. Oh, he's mad.
I'm a very busy man. Do try to remember that I can bring this little chat to an end whenever I so choose.
It's only taking so long because you won't give me a straight answer to any of my questions. If only you'd stop giving me the runaround, we'd be done already. He's got no fear. So let's try this again. You seem to know the details of the case quite intimately. Why is that?
Because I read the case file. Not exactly the most thrilling use of my time, of course, but it's part of the job.
I have to be a good role model. I can't seem to be slacking. I can be so hard. But I had some time on my hands, so I read the whole thing from cover to cover. You keep saying how busy you are. That's strange. I could have sworn you just told me you're a very busy man. I'd say the cracks are finally starting to show, wouldn't you? If you're so keen on being an upstanding leader, you can start by releasing K, you know.
You really don't give up, do you?
It's a moving sight indeed, my boy. But a tragic one, too. Wait, what? He's sad? TSPMO? Nanda? I don't understand, so what do you mean? After all, your efforts are for naught. I'm afraid your little friend was found unconscious near the scene of the crime. What was the weather like that day? That seems like a trap, but I'm gonna try it anyway. I've got you. Oh no, that's wrong. Okay, I thought that was a trap. This shit pisses you off? It was a trap, yeah. We have yet to hear much about the circumstance under which Kay was found. She was lying unconscious in the storeroom, correct? Ah, I see.
That's right, although I'm not at liberty to tell you how I know that.
He knows things even we didn't. In fact, he seems to be aware of every tiny detail about this case. This could be a valuable clue. Oh, okay, I need to go for this one. Sorry, but the more you tell me, the less sense your story makes. For one thing, you know details that even those investigating the scene were not aware of. Why is that? Basically, that's what TSPMO means. Oh, I see. I understand now. I understand. It's young people slang. I'm not very up on that, I'm afraid. I'm an old man. I know old man slang such as "hello" and "how you doing," and other old man phrases. Because I'm an old man. So please, yeah. I'm not very young. No, I'm not.
I'm not very young no more, you know. I'm past my Metroid Prime.
Where is it? Okay. Just how much do you really know, Chem? Oh, he's mad.
Oh, there's that intimidating face you like to make again. Well, two can play this game. How'd you like me now, huh? I do have to commend you on your doggedness. Really is something.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Take it however you like, but wrap this up, will you?
Just don't have the stamina anymore. She's the culprit, the only possible suspect. Just accept that already. How much more evidence did you want us to load her down with, for goodness sake? Load her down with? Yet another interesting turn of phrase. One that makes it sound a lot like the items Kay was carrying might have been foisted upon her.
Impressive. You really do pay attention, don't you? It's no wonder they used to call you a prodigy, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor.
Too much TMO in your humble I am ho. Lol out loud. Oh man, imagine if we just all started talking elite speak. And it's like 2001 again. Holy shit, that's a terrifying thought.
I think you know the answer to your question by now. Why don't you just go ahead and say it? I want to hear it from you.
It's finally time to shed light on the truth. All that's left is to play one last move. Kay is innocent. Wait, what? Time to deploy my clue? Aha! Kay was framed. The true culprit set it all up so she would take the fall instead. That is my answer, and I won't let you deny it any longer. Ho-ho! Oh, his beard's on fire! You baser, you keep feigning taxing my food to spamo. The young people terrify me, guys. The young folk just scare me. More and more and more and more. Like, is that like a fauna tax? Is that like a super chat to Sarah's fauna? She's dead. Nature is dead. She's gone. She got eaten by a nurse.
Oh, ho, ho. Oh, ma. You really are sharp on her. It's a bit of a shame you chose to hand in your badge. I admit it, you're right on all accounts.
And that's checkmate. You knew Kay wasn't the real murderer, and yet you still had her arrested. It appears that the council should determine our fate. Yeah. The council's response is to have our balls slapped. Ow. What's worse, you thought you could get away with it. Well, you won't, not if I can help it.
There you go with that naivety again, my boy. I guess that always was your problem. With the girl arrested and the conviction secured, this whole mess goes away, and that's what'll happen.
But whose interest does a conclusion like that serve?
The committee's, I suppose. And mine? Oh.
Seeing the kind of man Hexose is explains a lot about the Ace Attorney law system. It really does. What does naivety mean? Naivety is the quality of being naive.
You know, listening to you just now, well, it really got the tears flowing, I have to say. It was poignant and heartfelt and sincere, and utterly infuriating. Look, I'm not perfect, I know that. But your lack of sophistication in these matters is beyond the pale. You insist that the truth is more important than anything else. But would you say the same if you knew what the real value of the truth is?
What are you trying to say?
When you get to my level, you don't uncover the truth. You make it little by little. Kay Faraday, murderer. That's the truth. The truth I created. Ugh. Yes, my boy, that's what I like to see.
You're still waiting for a Hollow Knight stream? I was meant to stream it last night, but I had to cancel at short notice. I had a really awful day at work, and I was just like, you know what? I can't play a difficult game like last night. I was way too stressed. So I just had to sit down with a beer and just zen out. It was pretty nice. Like, having an unexpected night off was pretty good. But yeah, you take care, Zoe. Hopefully I'll see you next time. We're playing Oblivion tomorrow. So Hollow Knight's been rearranged for next week. Cancel my Hollow Knight stream. Nothing safe. The only thing that cancelled my Hollow Knight stream was me. And work. Destroying my mental health by being shit. Anyway.
You're so sincere sometimes, it's painful. It just makes me want to put you in your place. Knowing the real truth will get you nowhere. Because that's how much it's worth. Nothing. Shocking, I know.
But why not go after the real killer? How much do you even know about what really happened?
You're still not getting it. That's your truth. And it is worthless. Mine is all that matters. You understand what I'm saying, don't you, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor? I have all the power here.
Yeah, take care, Zach. Hopefully see you soon. I hope you had a good lunch break as well. And hopefully we'll catch you up for another one. It's Oblivion tomorrow. It's probably going to be from about 1:30 UK time. My wife's going to be going out the house at about 1. So it's like, I'll see her off and then I'll go live. Yeah. Actually, tomorrow's Oblivion stream, I have a plan. Which is do the rest of the guild recommendations for the Mages Guild. And do the other alien statues that we have access to at the minute. So I actually had a quick look earlier and they came up on the map. So what's his name? The Umbacano, that's the fucker. Yeah, he has put them on my map, so we can go to those places and like raid. So that should be cool.
Curse you! Well, aren't you menacing? You and your little friend are just as bad as each other. Violent criminals who deserve to be locked up.
You'll pay for this.
And with that, yet another person disappears from my life.
Oh, it just makes me want to cry and cry and cry. I'm not planning to disappear just yet, Chairman Winner. There's still the hearing later today. Just you wait. One way or another, I'll prove Kay's innocence to the world then. Okay. Interesting. Where's Udgy? Oh, is Udgy not on the committee?
10 members. Over a majority are present. I hereby call this hearing to order.
Hey, Fat-chan, how we doing? How we doing? Welcome in. Oh, yeah, Udgy's not a prosecutor. What the heck's that name? It's Fat-chan. Yeah. Yeah, welcome in. We are lawyering tonight. Udgy is too honest to be on a corrupt board. You know what? That's also true.
We are gathered here today to assess the professional competency of Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Here, in the sight of the goddess, we do solemnly swear to pass fair and frank judgment.
Fair and frank? Don't make me laugh.
Verity, if you would be so kind as to summarize the case against Mr. Edgeworth.
On April the 5th, despite having been advised of the illegality of an investigation he was conducting, the accused refused to desist and eventually had to be detained by myself and Chairman Winner. His actions compromised the investigation into the murder of a certain defense attorney. He ascribes to the philosophy that the truth is just power, not something transcendent. And despite having been presented with copious evidence of her guilt, he continues to insist that the suspect, 1K Faraday, is innocent of all charges.
Perhaps you could explain the details of the murder to us as well.
Of course. On the morning of the 5th, the body of the victim was found here in the committee chamber. Further explanation will be provided by me, Eustace Winner, Premier Prosecutor. The floor is yours, Mr. Winner. The murder itself happened late on the night of the 4th. The victim was Miss Rosie Ringer. That same night, an illicit auction was being held here in this very room. Why? Why? Why is that the blue trauma? Okay. Ringo took part in that auction, I think, yeah. Meaning that the murder took place sometime during the auction. When she was found, Ringo was dressed in an outfit that matched the description of the auctioneers. However, due to the fact that the auction carried on after the murder had occurred, I deduced that Ringo was not in fact the auctioneer. Oh. Depends on how sinful your mind is. My mind is clear and innocent. I'm a good boy. I'm the sanest Stanana. You deduced nothing of the sort. And what about the basis on which the suspect was detained, Mr. Winner? Yeah, I got this. So Faraday was overcome by crushing remorse, Eustace. Yeah, there are tons of crushing remorse, so she confessed. According to her confession, she was on the roof of this building when she encountered a person in a red raincoat on the viewing platform.
And that person was Miss Ringer, I take it.
Precisely, Mr. Chairman. The killer dressed the victim in the auctioneer's outfit after the fact. But at the time when she was killed, Miss Ringer was wearing a red raincoat. Okay. I hate maths. Yeah, maths can just, like, suck all of my dick. And who won the race to find that raincoat nearby? Me, that's who. Did you? I thought it was somebody from forensics. Strictly speaking, it was found by one of the forensic investigators under Mr. Winner's command. I knew it. The blood analysis on the coat showed that it was indeed Miss Ringer who had worn it. And the suspect's confession was the final nail in the coffin. She confirmed having committed the murder. So, as you can see, Kay Faraday was the killer. There's no way anybody else could have done it.
Alright, boss, I expect you have some objections. Let's get them out of the way, shall we?
I do hate Arkveld, it's true. Arkveld can, like, fuck all the way off over there somewhere. I have no objections, Chairman Winner.
Well, now, is that so? I thought...
Objection!
No objections in the matter of my unauthorized investigation, that is. But in the matter of Miss Faraday's supposed guilt, I have plenty.
Overruled.
I can personally attest to the fact that Mr. Winner's investigation was fair and impartial. Yeah, of course it was. When it comes to carefully conducted ops, I'm the winner every time.
You know, Miles, it's within my power to offer you a plea deal of sorts. If, and this is purely hypothetical, of course, you were to withdraw your objections.
You think Arkveld's really a case of Insect Glaive being awful against it? I mean, it negates every single thing that Glaive does, basically. Kind of like how you hate Anjanathan Dushagra as a Hunting Horn player. Yeah, it's just a shame that, like, the flagship fight is garbage. Like, it's the worst fight I've ever had in all of Monster Hunter. I would genuinely rate Kulu Yaku above Arkveld. I don't care if people are upset by that. That is my honest take on it. As a Hunting Horn player, you're kind of psychopathic. Yeah, I agree. That is a psychopathic opinion.
You might wake up tomorrow to find yourself the proud owner of a seat on this committee. He's bribing us! So I ask you again, do you have any objections, Mr. Edgeworth?
If you think you can buy my silence, think again. You will watch your mouth. Only if the chairman watches his. I didn't come here to talk about committee seats. I came to talk here about the murder case. You're a Hunting Horn player that's really kind of psychopathic to begin with. You know what? What is more psychopathic? Metroid ROM hack creators or Hunting Horn mains? Young Cuckoo is awful in Wilds. Yeah, it's still more fun than Arkveld, though. I demand a statement under oath, and I won't rest until I have one. I want to know exactly what the committee's view on the incident is.
You want to put us on trial, my boy? Very well, if it'll make you happy.
Who made Jan Kutku worse than every monster? It's not worse than Arkveld, though. Arkveld is the worst monster. Like, in terms of Monster Hunter tier list, if I was to rate every single Monster Hunter game that I've played, Arkveld would still be the very worst tier of monsters. 'Cause it's just not fun. That's the thing, like, even monsters I've got bad matchups against, like, I can still enjoy them, but that one, no. When they design a monster just to... Plesioth exists. Plesioth is actually one of the comparatives I use for Arkveld. Do you know why? Because Arkveld... You know how Plesioth has the famous hip check? Well, whoever designed Arkveld was like, you know what we need back in the game? We need Plesioth's hip check, but we need to take it off of the hip, and we need to put it on everything. We need to make it so that, like, the chains have the hip checks as hitbox. Like, you're out in the ruins of Wyveria, and there's an Arkveld in the Windswept Plains, or the Windward Plains or whatever, and he does the chain attack, and you're in the ruins of Wyveria, and that hits you. The hitbox extends, and it gets you. It clips you. You're not even fighting him. He just knocks you from, like, 3 zones away. And it's like, let's put that on everything. Every single thing, let's put that on. Mental.
Verity, please provide Mr. Edgeworth with the materials pertaining to the case.
Really? But, sir...
This will be his last hurrah, so let's humor him with the send-off he desires.
If you say so, Mr. Chairman. With the evade window 4, it's easy to ignore. See, the thing is, like, even with... I think I've got evade window 2, and, like, if you're not positioned in such a way that you can double roll out the way of the chain attack, then you're getting hit by it. Like, you're gonna get hit by it, and there's no avoiding it. I've tried every direction, and it's like, there's not even time to do a Superman dive. It's like, oh, alright, I guess I'll just die then. And it's like, when you get to a point where a monster has damage which is unavoidable except by having hyper-specific gear. It's like, no, we're entering the realm of poor design at this point. And it's a shame because the actual design of the creature itself is really cool. And it's just wasted on that abortion of a fight. There.
You have no objections to Verity representing the committee, I assume?
None whatsoever. Is that IDW dabbing? Fucking hell it is. Mr. Edgeworth. Don't worry, Kay. Everything will be fine, you'll see. Okay. Miss Ringer attended the auction as a potential buyer. The red raincoat was one of the items up for sale. So our assumption is that after winning and paying for it, she left the auction with her purchase. The only exit from the storeroom was, of course, the hatch leading up onto the roof. After she'd emerged onto the viewing platform, that's when Miss Ringer was attacked by Miss Faraday. Shortly thereafter, her flame went out, and thus concludes the committee's view of the case. The same issue as your friend struggling with Gore Magala. See, Gore Magala is... I can understand why someone would struggle with Gore, because Gore is like Odogaron in terms of the aggression level and the relentlessness, but he's also twice as big and twice as hard to avoid. So, like, Gore Magala is a hard fight. It's a fun fight, but it's a hard one. You know, because he's that aggressive, and he also has so much going for him in terms of things that he can do to you. This is the end of the case. Oh, okay. But I mean, Gore's hitboxes are fair. That's the difference. Gore's hitboxes are fair. Gore cannot hit you with his tail attack when you're in front of his face. Arkveld can. If you're in front of Arkveld's face when he does the tail attack, you're getting hit by it. Right, and this is something which is quite well documented. It's a very long series of multiple testimonies. Yeah. Okay. The raincoat was on offer that night. Is that really true? We believe so, yes. You remember the failed assassination attempt on the president of Shengfar, I assume? The raincoat is a piece of evidence from that case. It should, of course, have remained safely under lock and key in the appropriate facility. But our inquiries revealed that it did in fact go missing under mysterious circumstances. I have one part left where it end 1-2. Understood. And wound up in the auction along with everything else. That makes sense, I suppose.
Wonderful word, Verity. Just wonderful. Crystal clear as ever.
You flatter me, sir. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, perhaps you could save us for some time and simply admit defeat. I'll do no such thing, thank you very much. I will admit to hands. Very well. It's good to know that you still have some fight in you. It is? Why? Come to think of it, she said some strange things when she visited me this morning, too. What exactly is she up to? Okay. We're gonna have to press on things, aren't we? Play some wilds at some point? Yeah. I need to remember, like, I need to get some time into my schedule to put wilds on again. Like, I haven't played it in a couple of weeks. Since Oblivion came out, that's just distracted me. Bethesda have done it again. You can present directly if you can figure out what to present and where. Okay. So, Miss Ringer attended the auction as a potential buyer. The red raincoat was one of the items up for sale. So the assumption is that after winning and paying for it, she left the auction with her purchase. The only exit from the storeroom was, of course, the hatch leading up onto the roof. After she emerged onto the viewing platform, that's when Miss Ring was attacked by Miss Faraday. Shortly thereafter, her flame went out and this concludes the committee's view. Okay, let's have a look at the evidence we've got then. So. One by the victim whose fingerprints and blood were found on the hood. Box in which the killer hid the body, traces of blood detected inside. I think, does that seem like a thing we could present on there? Our assumption is that after winning and paying for it, she left the auction with her purchase. Seems fair. What are we thinking, guys? I think the clothes box. Box in which the killer hid the body. After she emerged onto the viewing platform, that's when she was attacked by Miss... Oh, wait, no, that wouldn't track, would it? Because, like, she could have, like... The assumption would be that she killed her, put her down the hatch, and then hit her in the box. Right. Try and press to get more info. Don't need to. Okay. Alright, yeah, let's try some presses. I'm going to press on this one.
Hold it!
But why? What possible motive could Kay have had? That is exactly what we are hoping to establish in our upcoming interviews with Miss Faraday. Coercive interrogation after the fact, something you seem to specialise in. If the murderer knew that the attendees would all be leaving via the hatch, then the roof would have been the perfect place to lie in wait. So as I was saying, after she emerged onto the viewing platform, that's when Miss Ringer was attacked. Okay, not that one. Try this one. Miss Ringer was a member of the committee. Could she not have left the committee chamber via the main door? While the auction was still underway, that would risk exposing its existence to those outside the trusted circle of attendees. Given that Miss Hart found out about it, I think its existence is already well and exposed. The rules of the auction stated that attendees were to enter and leave via the hatch in the roof. Miss Ringer had no reason not to follow those rules, and given where the murder took place, we know that she must have done so. We had a little ping just then, didn't we?
Hold it!
Why did she leave so soon after making her purchase? Because of the auction house rules. Winning bidders are expected to pay for their items immediately. Miss Hart told us pretty much the same thing. Miss Ringer, having paid for the raincoat, probably left immediately afterwards in accordance with the rules. Okay.
Hold it!
So the raincoat really was one of the auction lots? That's correct. I believe it originally belonged to a Mr. Shelley the Killer.
Considering its status as a piece of evidence, it's the only logical conclusion.
It's from when he made his attempt on the president's life? There was an unexplained mannequin standing amongst the other items on sale. Got some thunder? Love thunder? Nice. It could well have been used to display the coat prior to the auction. Do we know how the items were being smuggled in? That is still under investigation, and it is entirely unrelated to the matter at hand. Especially considering that you will soon officially be a prosecutor no longer, Mr. Edgeworth. It sounds like the outcome of this hearing is a foregone conclusion. No surprises there. My personal circumstances aren't important right now. Please continue, Your Honour. As I was saying, the raincoat from the items up for sale. Our assumption is that after winning and paying for it, she left the auction with her purchase. Worn by the victim whose fingerprints and blood were found on the hood. This is hard.
Hold it!
In other words, a member of the committee was actively involved in the illegal evidence trade. It is unfortunate. I don't know what else to say.
And of course, we'll be looking into any such activities just as soon as this hearing is over and done with.
I commend your decision to pursue the matter further, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, don't be silly, Verity. It's the least we can do, really. Not that it's any of your business, Miles. Not anymore. If only you'd remained a prosecutor. But you didn't. Now, if we're quite done making an old man cry with this old sad affair.
Very well. Allow me to continue. So... She left the auction with her purchase. The only exit from the storeroom was the hatch leading up onto the roof. Is that true? I guess. I don't know. But Hades said that we can do this one without any presses, but like I am shit out of ideas here. When she emerged on the viewing platform, that's when she was attacked. Let's check this statement. Let's have some clues first before we just go straight to that. I'm gonna try this one. You've got the solution open. Like, give me a clue. What statement do I need to be looking at? Like 1 through 6. Which statement are we looking at to present on? Because I think it's this one. I think it's 5. After she emerged onto the viewing platform, that's when Miss Ring was attacked by Miss Faraday. Are we trying to link up the times? Because the ticket stub is 7:28 PM. That's a big time gap. We need to present on 5. I'm going to try and present the ticket stub. Because I can't work out what else we've got.
Objection!
It's not the ticket stub. It's not the ticket stub. Okay. Is it the picture of the person in the red raincoat already having blood on their hands? I think it might be. Hold on.
Objection!
Ah, I see. I understand now. Maybe you can clear something up for me, Judge Gavelle. But what is Miss Hart doing here at this hearing? She's an eyewitness. I thought it would be obvious.
Well, not really an eyewitness, more of a near witness, I guess.
She's not exactly the most confidence-inspiring choice to help you make your case, is she? I like to think I choose my allies a little more carefully than you, Mr. Edgeworth. Then you should question them more thoroughly, because there's something she hasn't told you. Take a look at this. It's a photo taken by Miss Hart. Yes, in the storeroom, correct? What of it? According to your theory, the murder occurred up on the roof. But according to Miss Hart's testimony, she happened to witness the entire incident unfold in the storeroom, just before she took this picture. Wait, you're saying Gavelle got it wrong? That's exactly what I'm saying. What? Miss Hart, if I may confirm your account of the events you witnessed that night. You saw the person in the picture, correct?
I sure did. Clear as day and with my own 2 eyes to boot.
And what were your impressions at that point?
My impressions? This right here is scoop of the century, something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was hoping more for your impressions of the person in question.
Oh, that there's a walking meal ticket.
Seriously?
Just my little joke. No need to look at me like I done sat on your lunch. Old red raincoat, right? Wow, so while I'm looking, I thought that's a perp right there.
And therein lies the rub. For Miss Hart to have thought such a... Oh. It makes sense even for you, since all hope is lost. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, when will you learn to use your words? If it's an explanation on the facts you require, you need only ask, you know. What do you mean? I assume you're about to raise the issue of the voices Miss Hart heard. Voices that may be unrelated.
Objection!
Unrelated? You can do better than that. Was one of the voices Miss Hart heard really even Miss Ringer's?
You're kidding me, right? Them folks was talking crab-related turkey, or my name ain't a lot of damn hard.
Ah, but did you hear them clearly?
Well, can't rightly say for sure, but... I can't rightly say nothing, you know it. They was using voice changers. I done told you that.
Precisely. Miss Hart heard voices, but those voices were disguised. Which means we cannot even be certain that whatever she did over here had anything to do with the murder.
Objection!
Oh, saucy. Huh. You don't need to yell objection in order to side me, Mr. Edgeworth. It seems I overestimated you, Judge Gavelle.
Nonsense. Verity's the best of us, my boy. The very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is her real test. To train them is her cause.
And yet she believes that what Miss Hart heard might not have had anything to do with the murder. Even supposing that that's the case, it doesn't prove the murder didn't happen in the storeroom. You were about to do the Ash Ketchum reference? Dun, dun, dun. Oh, that was such an amazing opening theme tune for a show. Like, how many kids is that the sound of the childhood of? How many millions of us are there? So fucking many. Oop. Just realised my stream monitor's gone off. What the fuck's going on with this thing? Hold on. Let me just reset this a minute. Hold on. There we go. Right, we're good. Yippee! Excellent. Okay. The incident happened before the victim was able to go up to the roof. That much we can say for certain. And I can tell you why. It is the blood. Right, I see.
Take that!
We initially thought that the person in the red raincoat was the culprit.
Yes, because Miss Hart said as much.
Indeed, she told us about the blood she saw on this person's hand. And I doubt many people would have thought differently given her testimony. Ergo, if this person is the killer, then the blood we see would be from when they attacked the victim. But knowing what we know now, that this person is in fact the victim, it recontextualizes everything. The presence of the blood still shows that the picture was taken after the attack, but now it tells us something very important about the victim too. This picture tells us that the victim struck the killer, survived the attack. It doesn't tell us anything. What? This is a reach? I'm going to save scum this one because, like, the bottom... It's not the top one. It does tell that she survived. I suppose it does, yeah. But that's assuming that this isn't the killer. Yeah, but we can't prove that this is her. We're working on a complete assumption. There's no doubt in my mind that the victim was attacked in the storeroom. But here we have photographic evidence of her standing upright and alive, albeit with a bloody hand. This could only mean that Miss Ringer survived the attack. The blood on her hand is from the wounds she had sustained. What are you talking about? Who dies from a hand wound? The wound wasn't on her hand, Mr. Winner. I imagine she'd used her hand to try and staunch a wound. That's right. While it's impossible to tell from this angle, the victim was already mortally wounded here. Oh ho ho! Well, that certainly would change things, wouldn't it? It very much would, not least by making it absurd to suggest that Kay was the attacker. Her encounter with the victim happened after this picture had been taken. After the victim had already been attacked and was in critical condition. I put it to you that all Kay witnessed was the victim finally succumbing to her wounds. That would have been quite the coincidence. It's a textbook case of wrong place, wrong time, I'd say. You seem to be forgetting a rather important fact, Mr. Edgeworth.
Well, that or pretending not to remember it.
What fact am I forgetting?
I think it's time to wrap things up, don't you, Verity? Put the boy out of his misery.
Dad, Gavelle works for me. Why do you keep giving her orders? That's my job.
You really are a total and utter embarrassment.
I'm not. I hate to break it to you, but you both are. Go to it, Gavelle. Put Edgeworth out of his misery. As you wish. Okay. Miss Ringer's body was found with 3 wounds in her chest, And we all know what those wounds are from, don't we? That's right. They're from when she was stabbed in the chest by a 3-arm candelabrum. I doubt anybody could survive such grave wounds. If you care to read the coroner's report, I'm sure you would change your tune. Nicely done, Gavelle. Now Edgeworth will have... Make several objections. Yes, I'm afraid I will. What? Why? Weren't you listening? Oh, I was listening. Very carefully, in fact. Hence my objections. Come on, why do you always have to undermine me? That's never my intention, I assure you. It isn't? Because you do it so well to yourself every single time. Can we check out the red coat for a sec? Yeah, there's no blood around. The blood is in the hood, and not like around the chest area. Of course it isn't. Yeah, I knew that because I'm. Please, Eustace, just stop for goodness sake. You've already embarrassed me enough. Huh? What do you mean, Dad? Yeah, I see where this one's going already. The last one was kind of like a bit more esoteric. Do you know who like? So Eustace like decides that he doesn't like his dad anymore, and he puts himself up for adoption. And he goes to live with a Mr. Bond. What he failed to realise was that there were a few more letters at the end of that guy's surname. And as the door opens, he just sees this line of purple light. And he just hears this immortal word, Sulka. And then Eustace is like, oh, there's an elevator in front of me. Shall I get into it? And then the guy he's just seen is like, oh yeah. We all know where this is going. Actually, did I ever tell you guys about like my excellent cosplay idea? Right. So imagine you go to an anime convention cosplaying as Bondrude from Made in Abyss, right? And you say to people who are after photographs, hey, can my daughter get in this photograph? And they're like, yeah, that's cool. Bring her over. And you reach into your coat and you pull out this lunchbox just full of meat slurry. Imagine. Imagine. I'm dying. That feels like an incredibly cursed reference. It is. The cursedest reference. Note to self, do not watch Made in Abyss. It's really good, but also you have to go into it knowing that there is some very cursed shit that happens in it. Like, it's a very cutesy franchise by design. The cutesy is designed to debate you. Because there is so much fucking suffering. Oh my god. It's like, it makes Berserk look normal. Okay. I doubt anybody can survive such grave wounds. She was stabbed in the chest by a 3-arm candelabrum. Now, look at the coat. If she's wearing that, but look, the wounds are there. But then look at the coat. There's no holes in it. I think this one is a bit more straightforward. If it's not this, then I'm just gonna like just jump off a bridge. All right, take me, sweet death. If you care to read the coroner's report, sure to change the tune. Let's read the coroner's report, shall we? We don't have the... Oh, wait, no. This is the coroner's findings. I think we play the coat here.
Objection!
Okay. The coat does prove that she wasn't stabbed, though. So I don't see why that didn't work. I picked the wrong statement. Oh. Let's try it on this one, then.
Objection!
What? Are you kidding me? How did that not work? That proves the contrary on both of the statements I've presented it on. What is this bullshit, man? All right, we'll try this one then. What did I try? I tried the coat on 3 and 5. Because then from when she was stabbed in the chest by a 3-armed candelabrum, the coat has no holes in it. It proves that if she was stabbed while wearing the coat, she couldn't have been stabbed while wearing the coat. If you care to read the coroner's report also said she was stabbed in the chest on the left-hand side, where the coat has no holes in it. Is it the... No, it's not the coat on 3. It's not the coat on 3. I've tried that, Ara, and it was not the coat on 3. It wasn't. I'm going to try it on 4. Because you can be reading the solution. I've just tried it, and no, I didn't. I tried it on 3 and 5. I've done it on this one, right? And then I've done it on this one. It didn't work on this one. It didn't work on this one. I haven't presented on any of the statements yet. So how can it be the coat on 3? If the retry on 3, all right. If this does something else, I'm going to be very pissed off.
Objection!
What? Why did that not work the first time? Sometimes these games make no sense whatsoever. I didn't do it on 1 Hades, I did it on 3. I went to 3 and I presented, right? I ain't presented anything on 1. Oh well. I'm marking the case down for this. You know what I'm like. I'm very grouchy when things don't make sense in these games. Chairman Winnie, you know what this is, of course. The red raincoat. That's right, isn't it, Verity? Yes, sir. The one Miss Ringer was wearing. I warn you, Mr. Edgeworth, you will not be thanked for retreading old ground here. Well, I'm afraid I might have to regardless. Now then, if you'll answer me this, Judge Gavelle. You told us that the victim's bloodstains were found on the coat. But do you remember where exactly they were found? Of course. They were found on the hood and... No. What's the matter, Verity? The hood and... Was blood found anywhere else in the raincoat? No, it was not. Doesn't that strike you as odd? How the fuck did I try 1? I had 3 highlights it. I was on the one that said, right? I reloaded, and then I went to this one. I had one, no, 1 didn't say this. What? Unless the game suddenly, like, yeeted me back to a different one. This was what was up in front of me on my screen that I had sight of, right? Mental. So it's one of those ones you, like, present, it tells you, no, this is wrong. You reload, you try it again, it's, it's right now. Alright. Okay. Doesn't that strike you as odd? The victim died of stab wounds to the chest. Wouldn't that lead one to expect to find bloodstains in that area? And yet, there was blood only on the hood. That's a glaring contradiction if I ever saw one. The head wound the victim suffered wasn't just some incidental injury. It was inflicted before the stab wounds to her chest. Perhaps you are correct. Perhaps the victim did sustain the head injury first. As you said, if she'd been stabbed first, there should be blood in the chest area of the raincoat. Therefore, Miss Ringer can't have been stabbed before the head injury had been inflicted on her. But even if we concede this point, that the head injury that came before the chest wound, what difference would it make? How does it change your understanding of the case? Well, the coroner's report says that the head injury was sustained post-mortem. So it changes the understanding of the case very significantly. I'd say it changes things a great deal. In fact, it raises an even more fundamental contradiction. That is quite the bold claim, Mr. Edgeworth. I have to admit you have me intrigued. Perhaps you could show us this fundamental contradiction. With some evidence. Which piece of evidence best demonstrates the contradiction in the order of the injuries revealed? I picked 3, saved, manually went to 5 and presented, reloaded and went to 1? What? But I didn't have, like, sight of 1 on my screen. Like, I specifically said, I'm going to try 5. Okay, it's not that. It will be 3 then. And I went to 3 and it's like, nah, that's wrong. And I was like, okay. So then I was about to try 4. I was about to cycle through them in order. But, like, I didn't see the text for 1 up on my screen at all. Like, genuinely. I think we're going to have to chalk this up as a brain moment. Because, like, what my eyes saw in front of me was the text for 3. I tried 5 and thought I tried 3 and went to 1. No, I'm pretty sure I tried 3. I'm like certain I tried 3. Because I tried like 2 things and they were both wrong. And one of them was on 3. I wasn't even paying attention to statement number 1 because there was nothing there. Let's just move on. Anyway, it's the coroner's report.
Take that!
This is Dr. Hertz's preliminary findings, according to which the victim suffered a head injury post-mortem. But the order suggested by the bloodstains on the raincoat is exactly the opposite, yes. Pizza's arrived. Enjoy. What pizza have you got? Tell me what pizza you got before you go. Yeah, I'll do my best. Thank you. Thank you. Make it... Is it a good pizza? Is it pepperoni? Meat lover. Nice. That is a good pizza. Enjoy. No. No, meat lover is a good pizza. I don't have any joke to make about that. It's just a, it's a solid choice. You can't go wrong with it. There's no joke coming, by the way. I'm not leading into a joke. It's just like, no, this is just a legitimate, solid choice for a pizza. I mean, if I'm not having a New Yorker style, then that's one of my go-tos, you know? I mean, Edgeworth's a meat lover. There you go, there's your joke. It's an Edge-right joke, though. It's not a joke at your expense. It's just Edge-right, alright? Okay. There's the joke. There we go. Bailiff, this court hereby subpoenas Dr. Hilda Hertz to the committee chamber with all due haste. Enjoy. Until she testifies, this case cannot be brought to a close. Yes, Your Honour. I'll go fetch her at once. Unfortunately, Dr. Hertz is a very busy woman. I doubt she'll be able to come immediately. In the meantime, there is another important angle I'd like to explore. Frankly, something has been bothering me about the person at the heart of this case. The so-called ringleader. Who exactly are they? Yeah, good point. We never looked into that, huh? Despite having been mentioned repeatedly in this hearing, we still don't know even the most basic facts that might help us uncover their identity. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any thoughts on the matter? We've seen nothing that might serve as clear evidence of the auctioneer's identity as of yet. But there is someone involved in the case that I can name. I suspect that at the very least they might be able to point us in the right direction. And that's... Chairman Winner, I demand that you testify as to what you know. What? Are you crazy? Why would you accuse my dad? You would cast doubt on the integrity of the chairman of the committee. He's not. He gives no fucks. Do you understand the implications of such an act? I don't care who or what he is. We're talking about the truth here. And about a man who seems dead set on framing Kay at all costs. The mask, corsage, ticket stub, and everything else. The items Kay was carrying when she was found. They were deliberately placed in her possession somehow. By Chairman Winner himself. A shocking accusation, and one I find hard to believe. But for the sake of completeness, I must ask, why would he do such a thing? To cast suspicion on Kay, of course. Why else? I even managed to get him to say something to that effect. Chairman Winner, your rebuttal, please. I think the good chairman might be in shock. So what if I did? Did you hear me, dear boy? I said, so what if I did? You say you got me took me this much? Where's your proof, With no witnesses to speak of, your word alone is hardly enough to make an accusation like that stick. Or do you mean to tell us that you have something more to base your outburst on? He still has the arrogance he showed back in the detention center, and yet... Mr. Edgeworth, I am going to have to ask you to explain yourself, if that's all right, Mr. Chairman. Not at all. I'll be very interested to hear this for myself. I'm intrigued to learn where Miles might have gotten the idea I'm some sort of criminal. Because you'll never find a more fine and upstanding citizen than myself. He has a lot of nerve acting all innocent like that. Very well, let's start at the very beginning. The fact that the auction took place right here in this hallowed trial chamber is a point of suspicion. A location that should, by rights, only be accessible to members of the committee. Yeah, they all have keycards to the room after all. Furthermore, these auctions seem to be held on a somewhat regular basis, and for that to be possible, there can be only one winning explanation. That's right, Mr. Winner, that the auctioneer is a member of the committee. No! What on earth is wrong now?
What do I do, Dad? I played right into his hands.
Oh, you did indeed, you utter nitwit. But Miles, my boy, you do realize that you cast quite the wide net with your explanation.
That's true. There are 11 members of the committee altogether. 10 given Miss Ringer's unfortunate passing. 10 potential suspects in total.
What's all it be?
It can't be the chairman, can it?
Whoever it is, speak up right now.
Calm down, all of you, please. Well, Miles, is that all the proof you got against me? Huh, you're very quiet all of a sudden, but it's too late to back out now. You've accused a former chief prosecutor and current committee chairman of a crime. I would tell you to prepare for the worst. But there's no preparing for what you're about to face.
Okay.
You've been forcing us to argue over every little detail for a while now. Where the murder happened, the order of the victim's injuries, some other things I hardly remember. But you needn't have bothered, my boy. This is all irrelevant in the end. Think about it. The suspect herself has already said she did it. That's all that matters at the end of the day, and her sentence will be lighter for it, so rejoice. And there you have it. Feel free to pick holes in it as you see fit.
How can I when there was barely a testimony to begin with?
That man, he's a very powerful person, isn't he? It's okay, Mr. Edgeworth. Please, just let it go. I did it. I'm a murderer. I even remember doing it.
You saw a flash of something half remembered, Kate, nothing more. If you must believe in something, believe me when I say you should believe in your own innocence instead.
But
I'm up against the head of the committee here. This isn't going to be easy. But he seems to think he's already won. Perhaps I can use that against him. Okay, let's beat him up. Let's beat up the elderly. Yippee! That's my favourite thing. That is my favourite thing, that's like duffing up the elderly. No, that's a lie. I'm fibbing. I don't actually like that. Okay. So, I think we're going to have to press here. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Hold it!
Even if the broad strokes are correct, it doesn't make something true.
Oh, don't be such a stick in the mud. I'd say the bigger picture is more than enough here. After all, every case has its little inconsistencies and contradictions. If we let ourselves get bogged down in every single one, we'd never make any arrests. It's not going. And once we did, the trials would drag on forever. Even you understand that, right?
Not in the slightest. Hence my inquiry into the details.
Oh, to be so young and pig-headed. Anyway, you keep digging into these little details.
You just feel how much of a jackass he is. He's such a dick. Oh, that's where my nose ring went. Okay. Well, that's kind of neat, actually. Hold on, I'm just grabbing something. Whoop, there we go.
Hold it!
I seem to recall the ringleader's identity and the faulty coroner's report being critical points of contention.
Yes, I was listening, my boy. But critical is a matter of opinion.
How can you possibly suggest that such fundamental issues are not important? Perhaps it is your ability to make sound judgment that should be on trial here today.
Bravo, my young hothead. Wonderfully cut stuff. You do like to try, though, don't you?
Hold it!
There's no way any of what we've discussed today is irrelevant, not unless you intend to bury the truth.
But none of it is relevant, dear boy. The only reason you keep trying to make it relevant is because otherwise, you're up a creek without a paddle.
Okay.
Hold it!
Just because she confessed to something doesn't make it the truth. Kay is suffering from amnesia, so any statement she makes should be taken with at least a grain of salt.
Objection.
Even so, it doesn't exactly solve anything for us, does it, dear boy? And it would be nonsensical to dismiss her confession outright. I'll tell you what. Why don't we ask her one last time? Though I'm sure she'll just say she did it again.
Fine, let's do it. Let's ask her again. We'll see if she really believes herself to be the culprit.
Huh? You mean me? Is this really what you want, Mr. Edgeworth? If it goes badly, it could significantly weaken your position.
I know, but there's no other way. I only request that I be the one to question her. Sorry, one moment.
You really know how to tug at an old man's heartstrings, you know. But fine, ask away. On one condition. If this turns out to be a waste of time, that's it.
Sorry, give me a second, guys. Something weird's going on. Hold on. One of the cats. It was one of the cats.
We'll call the proceedings to an end then and there, agreed?
Call the proceedings to an end? You mean the hearing?
Yes, dear boy, that's right. Perhaps you aren't a complete muddlehead after all. Now, just so we're clear, if we ask again and all that happens is the girl confirms her guilt, she is officially declared guilty on the spot. Yeah, it sounds like a great plan if I do say so myself.
That's it. You just declare her guilty just like that.
That's the gist of it.
It's a big risk. And he's going to find a way to condemn her either way if we don't do something. Kay.
Yeah?
I know it's a lot to ask, but I need you to think. Do you remember anything else about what happened on the day of the murder? Oh boy. Is this an instant death situation again? I hate those. It's one of the things that made 3-3 unbearable. Anything that might help us prove your innocence.
Why? Why are you still fighting it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's no use. I can't be of help to you. I'm sorry. I'm too scared to try and remember anymore. What if I remember something even worse? And if I did, I'd just be making more trouble for you. Please, just accept it. The Kay you thought you knew is a dangerous criminal. A criminal who let you down and betrayed your trust.
Don't worry, Kay. You have nothing to be afraid of. I may not have known you for very long, but I know you well enough. And right now, I'd say I know you better than you know yourself. You would never commit a murder. You could never, because this is who you really are.
Take that!
What a moment! You're the great thief Yasugarasu, a noble outlaw who would never stoop so low as to kill.
I can't do it, I'm sorry. Because all I can see is the one memory that's returned. I have to face it.
Hold it!
No, the only evidence of your guilt is the confession they forced out of you. As I said earlier, you have to believe that you're better than that. Or are you saying you don't believe a word of what I've been telling you?
No, it's not that. You're trying so hard to help me. And you're risking so much for me. It's too much. You have to stop. I'm begging you.
Ah, so that's what's going on. Now, I thought it was strange, but now I see. The reason you're allowing yourself to be railroaded into accepting your fate is because of me, isn't it? Which is exactly what the K I know would have done.
You're a good person, Mr. Edgeworth.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but I'm not. And I don't plan on becoming one anytime soon. Because despite all your wishes to the contrary, I'm still trying to help you. So you see, I've merely been servicing my own ego, regardless of what I put you through. Now let's try this again. See the good in yourself, Kay. Remember the noble thief you truly are. That memory of you committing the murder, you need to question it with all you have. Bear with me just 1 second, guys. Yeah. That's all I ask. So please, do it for me.
Aye.
Oh boy. Kay.
What's wrong? Did you remember something?
Ho ho. It'd be like some cliche movie plot if she did.
A cow.
What?
A cow? Mr. Edgeworth, if you could perhaps ask her for a few more details?
Well, Kay, what can you tell us about this cow?
I remember now. The person in the red raincoat. She had it in her hand. A stuffed cow. I can see it so clearly now.
Oh, it's the evidence.
Are you sure, Miss Faraday? Are you absolutely certain? Yes, I'm sure. Then this court acknowledges the defendant's latest statements as new testimony.
Objection.
Have you lost your mind, Verity? We can't accept testimony like this.
With all due respect, Mr. Chairman, information pertaining to the victim and her possessions is
New and highly relevant evidence.
Objection.
Need I remind you of the adult state of her memory? No, this simply won't do.
addled, but if we claim that memory is unreliable now, then our own argument is weakened, sir. You said yourself only a few minutes ago that thanks to the suspect's confession, we need not worry ourselves over the finer details, did you not? Were we to call the validity of her memories into question, then we must also call into question the confession on which our entire argument is based. Is that really the most advisable course of action?
Yes, you're right. Proceed as you see fit, then.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We're still in the game, but only by the skin of our teeth. And only thanks to Judge Gavelle's intervention. Is she helping us? Yeah, something's going on here. It's almost as if she was on our side for a second.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, the stuffed animal.
I believe the cow in question is this thing here, Your Honor. We found it in the storeroom and believe it is yet another auction lot.
Wait, that's...
Do you know something, Gavelle?
No, it's just not what I imagined.
I suppose it is a rather odd thing for the victim to have been carrying. I should look it over carefully. There's a cherry blossom petal causing the fur here. There were petals on the raincoat too.
And a cherry tree in bloom up on the viewing platform.
It would definitely appear that this was taken outside at some point. But what did the victim want with this thing? Is it in the hole?
The left horn is missing.
This hole. It looks like that's where the horn would have gone.
But that doesn't look like stuffing in there. So what is it?
Let's take a look at the rest of this toy and see what else we can find. This horn? The right horn seems intact, but I can't say it's doing much for the overall symmetry of this stuffed toy.
Look, Mr. Edgeworth, it moves.
It does?
It sounds like sand being crushed.
It would seem there is a recording device hidden inside. I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. Nothing to say for yourself? I've waited so long for this day, and now I'll finally have my revenge. Could this be the moment of the murder?
Someone made a recording of it.
One of the people recorded had a prominent burn. That's the victim.
Hey, that's them right there. Them's the voices I heard. Sure as eggs is eggs.
Overruled. Unfortunately, we have no way of verifying when these voices were recorded. It's possible they have nothing to do with the murder. If only there was some accompanying video footage.
You got bugs in your ears or something, lady? I done told you. Them's the voices I heard. And we already know the victim was holding that thing, right? So it's gotta be from what you got.
Yes, it is a possibility, but a weak one without more than your word to back it up.
You gotta go, Hades. No worries. You take care, alright? And hopefully see you tomorrow for some Oblivion at some point. I think I mentioned we're going to be going live a little bit later than I had planned, but we're probably going to go on for a bit longer as well. Like, we're probably going to go into the evening. So I'm like, my wife's out all afternoon, all evening. So like, I'm thinking of doing a stream on Sunday morning as well, which is mental. But I'm going to see how I go with that one. I might just I think Sunday I should just keep the day off actually. But yeah, you take care. Cheers to the hangs, and I will all be well. See you very soon. Yeah.
We need something more. Something credible.
We need... Yet again, she seems to be stepping in help. Judge Gavelle, I think we all know the voices are from the moment of the murder. Consider for a moment the words we heard one of the speakers say. I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. I believe we have something that could explain what these words are referring to and how it's all related. I think it's the... I think it's this one.
Take that!
The coroner's preliminary findings. How do they prove anything?
Indeed, one on this page shows the voices must be from the time of the murder.
Take that!
Think again on the words we heard. This part in particular sticks out in my mind. You can't hide that burn from me. The victim had a prominent burn mark on the back of her right hand.
And what of it?
According to case testimony, the victim was carrying the stuffed cow toy, and a burn mark, an identifying mark unique to the victim, was mentioned on the recording and captured. No, it's just a coincidence. Stuff like that happens all the time, right?
Overruled.
No.
I'm not so sure that it does, especially not in this case. The court accepts that the recording may be from the time of the murder.
In which case, one of the two voices must belong to the real culprit. And based on the content of the conversation, it seems likely it's the one we hear the most. But that still doesn't tell us anything about the killer's true identity, or even if they're male or female. Due to the voice changes, correct. Unfortunate, but unavoidable.
One thing, however, has become clear. We are now able to say that the voice Miss Hart heard were those of Miss Ringer and her killer.
Just like I done told you there was.
We can say something else now, too.
Then let's hear it. That is, if you don't mind, Mr. Chairman.
Do as you wish.
According to Miss Hart, just before the murder occurred, two people came up to the storeroom from the committee chamber on the elevator. The ringleader and one of the auction attendees. It seems that this was the point at which money exchanged hands. The murder happened immediately afterward, and the auction carried on after that. All of which points to one key fact. The ringleader was the killer. Since the ringleader was the auction's sole auctioneer, then it follows that they cannot be the victim.
Hey, Gavelle. Not right now, Eustace. There's a good boy.
And if they weren't the victim, then they could only have been the killer.
Overruled. A compelling argument, but hardly conclusive.
I am fully aware of that, Your Honor. I was merely warming up for the main event. He's not happy. There were certain traces left on the scene that seemed to suggest the ringleader was the killer.
Then please hurry up and show us.
What is something that was placed on the scene that points to the ringleader as having been the killer? The flower? I think. think it's the flower. I think it's this.
Take that!
Nope, it's not that. I thought it did. Okay. The ringleader was the killer. There's something they would have wanted to hide. I was very certain that that was right. Because that was planted. Like, we know that was planted. So what else was there? There was the ticket stub. So we want to prove that the ringleader is the killer. What is something that's placed on the scene that points to the ringleader as having been the killer? A mask? The mask? The raincoat? It's the mask or the raincoat, I think. I'm gonna try the raincoat.
Take that!
No, it's not the raincoat. Okay. It's random bullshit go time. I see how it is. That's a shame. Ah. Well, you show the stuff that's been planted, and the game's just like, nah. Nah, it's not that. It's not that. So we try the mask then. We try the mask.
Take that!
Are you joking? What? I don't understand. Good thing with random bullshit goes I won't have to random bullshit too far. Yeah, I'm trying to say what was planted at the scene. So I was like, okay, here's all the stuff that's been planted. And it's like, yeah, it's not. It's the committee blood. What? It's the committee blood. What, this? Huh? You know what? I'm not gonna question it. I'm just gonna play it because I have no idea how the hell I'm supposed to work that out.
Take that!
The killer deliberately left a large pool of blood at the foot of the Goddess of Justice statue. It was due to that blood that we originally thought the murder had happened in this chamber, but it was simply a ruse designed to cover up the blood that had dripped down from the storeroom. In order to conceal the existence of the underground auction, correct? Correct. See, you guess that it's just that it's written that it's placed there? Yeah, but that's like, not... They explicitly describe other evidence as planted and not that. That's misleading as hell. That is designed to frustrate the player. I finally found something I like less than Judge Gavelle. I still like it more than Darkfell, though, please understand. Also, I hope you had a good pizza. If the culprit had nothing to do with the auction, they would have had no reason to cover up that blood, which further supports the theory that the ringleader and the killer were one and the same. And as to the identity of the ringleader, do you have anyone you'd like to name? The auction is always held in this committee chamber, with its storeroom located just overhead. So at the very least, we know the murderer's ringleader had some connection to the committee. Yes, yes. And you suspect me, correct? As the committee's most powerful member, that should hardly be a surprise, right?
Objection!
You're a fine prosecutor, that much I'll give you. But as I think I may have mentioned already, you're also hopelessly naive. You've got nothing there, boy, have you? No evidence whatsoever. Unless you got something to share after all. Do I have any evidence to show that Chen Winner's the murderer? I don't think I do. It was Chairman Winner himself who brought up the fact that I suspected him, and he seemed confident right from the get-go that he's untouchable, which means he knows I have nothing. Oh ho ho, well, that's my dear boy. Time to pay the piper. Oh, I've always wanted to say that.
Verity, he's all yours.
Wait, dang it. I just remembered something.
Did you have amnesia too?
Nah, it just done came to me. Flash of inspiration, you know how it is.
Very well. Say your piece.
Objection.
What are you doing, Verity?
Mr. Edgeworth has made it clear that he won't give up until every last lick of hope has been extinguished. So extinguish we must, lest he try to drag us through this excruciating process again in the future.
Interesting.
Yeah, what she said. I don't quite get it, but it sounded pretty cool. Don't worry, Dad, I'll help Gavelle bring this to a winning finish. We'll show them how wrong they are.
Fine, let's hear what the witness has to say.
You heard the chairman, Miss Hart. If you would be so kind.
Well, alright then. Here goes nothing.
The facts, Miss Hart, and nothing but the facts, please.
Don't you worry your pretty little head on that front. I'm a journalist. Choose my middle name.
Color me officially worried.
So the ringleader's the killer, right? Which makes the victim one of them auction goers. Thing is, that don't add up. I counted 11 people coming down that hatch, see? Then the murder happened, and then the auction started back up again. Now, I had me a look back downstairs right after that. No. And wouldn't you know it, there were 11 little duckies all lined up in a row again. How?
And you're sure of this, Miss Hart?
Sure can be your Gavelle ship.
Okay, that was pretty good. Your Gavelle ship.
Saw we me own 2 peepers.
So, 11 before the murder and 11 again right after means... Wait, that's a thingy.
Contradiction, Eustace. Do try to keep up.
Miss Hart, did nothing really change at all?
I done told you already. They carried right on again like nothing even happened. Oh, except for, wasn't nothing much, but...
What is it?
That little old mallet doodad can't have yourself an auction without one. Kind of like the one Missy over there's got, but different.
The auctioneer's hammer.
That's the bunny. I done heard that thing banging and clanging right the way through, then nothing. Just like that.
So the noise of the hammer stopped midway through. Could it have something to do with the murder? Okay. Let's have a look at this.
If what Miss Hart is telling us is true, we have something of a problem.
Let's have a look at this. Right, okay, it's just an update to the existing. Understood.
Namely, that if the victim is neither the auctioneer nor one of the attendees, your entire theory cannot stand, Mr. Edgeworth.
Ooh.
Chalk one up for justice. Eat that, Edgeworth. See, Mr. Edgeworth, there really was nothing we could do.
No, there must be something we're overlooking, something we still don't have an explanation for. I just need to think. If I can't, Kay is...
Alright, kids, do we finally have all our answers now? If so, then I expect you to make good on it. What?
One moment, sir. I worry that it might still be a little early to pass judgment.
This is uncharacteristic, because she's been making snap judgments based on bollocks for the entire game. Why does she suddenly care about due process now? This is suspicious. I also don't trust the fact that she has lightning bolts in her hair, because do you remember who else had lightning bolts in his hair? Damon Gant. And he was a corrupt-ass motherfucker.
After all, we have one more matter yet to resolve. And until we do, we cannot claim complete and total victory over Mr. Edgeworth. Is that not so, Mr. Edgeworth? Frankly, I expected you to have raised your voice by now. A loud hold it, perhaps.
Oh, yes, of course. And once again, she has rescued us from the jaws of defeat.
Very well, let's get this over with, shall we? What is this one matter that still remains?
Why, the contradiction in the coroner's report, sir.
That's...
I'm back with the witnesses, Your Honour.
What's all this? What's this all about? Why do you call us back down here? Did somebody suddenly fall ill? I'll have a compressed ready in 2 shakes of... Ow! This better be good. Did somebody else drop dead? Well, they might soon wish they had.
Dr. Hertz, Miss Needler, thank you for coming on such short notice. Let me assure you, this won't take long.
Is this the final bit of testimony on this case? Is this like the ending bit, Ara? Quit trying to butter me up and cut to the chase, will ya?
Haha, of course. We summoned you here to confirm something.
On this part, yes. Is there another part after this? What is Judge Gavelle up to?
Dr. Hertz, this court asks that you provide the unabridged truth regarding the following. Do you stand by your preliminary findings? Can you vouch for their complete and total accuracy?
Grammar doesn't make mistakes, ever. I'm at the end 1 2. Right, understood.
That's strange.
Huh? What do you mean?
In the course of this trial, an error was indeed found in her report. And so I ask again for the truth, Dr. Hertz. Did you alter, tamper with, or in any way falsify your findings?
That's awful. How could you even say that? What are you asking me for? Why the heck would I want to do that?
To help the true culprits, of course.
As if I'd know anything about all that. I just know I didn't do anything of the sort.
Then that seems doubly strange. What other explanation could there be for the discrepancy in your report? Mr. Edgeworth, I wonder if you might have any thoughts on the matter. It's not like you to be coy, I must say. Why does she keep taking charge and helping me? I still don't know what she's trying to do, but I'll happily take what I can get. If everything was recorded accurately and then handed off to Mr. Winner according to protocol, then the report shouldn't contain any mistakes. Wait. For the record, I didn't do anything to the report.
I guess we'll see, won't we?
Dr. Hertz, perhaps we could begin with your side of the story.
Why do we even need to? This is pointless. I'll be the judge of what's pointless, thank you very much. We have patients waiting back at the hospital. But Grandma, ow! We really don't have time for this.
Won't you please help us? I can't stress how important this is.
Grandma says she'll testify. But could you please make it quick? If we're not back soon, people will suffer.
And yet you had no qualms about taking your time buying cotton candy the last time we saw you. We'll let you go as soon as we can, I promise.
What they're going for is that the first 3 cases she believed that he was 100% truthful, and now she's realizing it's the other way around, she's been a willing accomplice. I see. So basically he's a manipulator, and she's just kind of been an idiot. Well, you know what? I mean, I think what we can do is if we, when she gets murdered at the start of case number 5, right? We won't just leave her as a corpse. We'll put her inside a dragoon, and then she'll have really bad pathfinding, and she'll be struggling to move around. You know, she'll be like, you'll say to go over there, and she'll take like 5 minutes to pathfind her way there, and then you'll have to research singularity charge to give her the +1 range. How are these StarCraft dragoon jokes working for you? Hit, miss, decent, bad? And then get stuck on stairs. Yeah. No way there's a mistake in Grandma's report. Not never. I've been dealing with the dead longer than you've been alive, Sonny Jim. Me writing something wrong is about as likely as... Ow! What the heck do you think I stand to gain by doctoring a file, huh? Don't make a lick of sense. And that's all she has to say. Nothing funky here.
See? It's just as I thought. There's no chance the good doctor doctored her findings.
And you swear by the Holy Goddess that this testimony is true?
Of course! Grandma's never told a lie in her.
Objection!
Your opinions are not necessary, Nurse Needler. Your grandmother is the subject of this inquiry, not you. Not necessary? That's not fair. I'm the only ally poor Grandma has. Go ahead and shout objection left and right, but you'd best be prepared then, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor. Oh, I'm more than prepared. I'm ready to expose the truth behind the error in the report. Okay. No way there's a mistake in Grandma's report, not never. Now, I kind of feel like the present is here. Because look, we go to the report. Head injury sustained post-mortem. We just need something that proves that the head injury was sustained pre-mortem. Let's press.
Hold it!
Never. You're saying that Dr. Hertz is infallible. She has to be. A doctor can't afford to make mistakes. Even a veteran like Grammar would be out of a job if she messed up even once. So there's no way she, of all people, had... I got a hospital relying on me. Might be you can bungle your work and survive, mister, but I can't.
Hold it!
And you've really never made a single mistake in all that time. Doctrine's all about experience. The longer you've been in it, the better you get. Huh. If only the same were true of prosecuting, Chairman One would be the best in the business. But I think we can all agree that's not the case.
Oh, you really are a devil, Miles.
But you're also quite wrong. I've never once made a mistake either.
After all, I have people do that for me. I'm too busy for foul-ups, and luckily for me, I don't have to make them. And them people just grand.
Oh, wow. His voice is really starting to hurt my throat. Don't you go trying to make Doctrine and Lawyer sound the same. They ain't nothing alike. Nothing alike, I tell you.
Hold it!
The victim appears to have put this raincoat on after sustaining the head injury, and yet there was not a single drop of her blood in the chest area of the raincoat. Therefore, she must have been hit in the head before she was stabbed in the chest, making it pre-mortem. Oh, that's out! I don't need you to teach me how to suck eggs, young man. My dang report already says what you just said, don't it?
Objection!
No, it doesn't. Your report states that the head injury appears to have been sustained post-mortem, which is the exact opposite of what I just said. Oh. Sure. I diligently dictated that report to Florence here, and she wrote it all down just like I said it. If something happened to it after that, it had nothing to do with me. You dictated it. If you could please tell me more. This is important. This is important. Let's press on this.
Hold it!
Just so we're on the same page, what were your conclusions regarding the body? Well, like I said... Oh! Sorry, it was, death from a good hard knock to the noggin. And can you say for certain when that knock happened, Dr. Hertz? Pre-mortem, of course. Chest wound happened after the poor girl died. I told Florence that and she wrote it right down, so that's what it says in my dang report. That may be what you told her, but I think we're finally getting to the truth. I think we need to present the report here. It's either this or the next one. I'm safe scumming it. Understand.
Objection!
Yeah, there we go. Dr. Hertz, I'd like you to take a look at the report for yourself. Oh, I'll read it to... Oh! This ain't what I said. This ain't what I said at all. What? What do you mean exactly? I don't know. It's like punching Judy. But I can't say that. Miss Needler, if you're attempting to bury Dr. Hertz's truth, I will gladly hear a confession myself on behalf of the Goddess of Justice. Dr. Hertz seems to be telling Judge Gavelle something in private. What? I see. Very well. Allow me to relate to everyone what you have just told me. Ain't no doubt about what I said. I dictated my findings to Florence just like I told you I did. The fuddle-headed young thing must have wrote it down wrong or something. Wow, that was a great impression. Yes, but was it really necessary? So in summary, there is an error in the report. It was all because of you, Nurse Needler. The true facts have now been shown to be that the head injury occurred prior to the chest wound. The question now, Miss Needler, is why did you introduce such an error?
Just a minute, Verity. You make it sound as if the poor girl did it deliberately. Whereas it seemed to me that she just made a little... mistake. Pre-mortem, post-mortem, they're practically the same word, don't you think?
Except they mean two completely opposite things. This was deliberate, no doubt about it. But why would she want to change it? Exactly. Thanks. Ow!
You won't get away that easy. Explain yourself, young lady. But Grandma, I...
You submitted a falsified report, and acted led to Kay being accused of murder. You owe us an explanation.
I can't tell you.
Not don't want to, but can't.
This is really rather unpleasant, don't you think? Ganging up on this poor considerate girl who's only looking after her grandmother. She has nothing to do with anything. She simply made one tiny mistake. So why not leave it there?
Objection!
You'd like that, wouldn't you? Because the only person her testimony would hurt is you.
What on earth do you mean, my boy? Seeing as you're now a de facto ex-prosecutor, you're gonna need to explain yourself better than that.
I'd be happy to. I'll even spell it out for you. Nurse Needler's role in this crime is very important because she's a co-conspirator. She helped. Nurse Needler doctored the reports in order to cover for her accomplice.
Ow! Oh, so she's a co-conspirator, this innocent young thing. Do share your grounds for making such a wild accusation, dear boy.
The murder couldn't have been committed by one person working on their own. Without at least two people, it wouldn't have been possible to... Doctoring a report can be done with one person. Doctoring a report can be done with one person. Now, if we know that two people went up in the left, but there's still 11 attendees. I think it's maintain attendance numbers. If the auctioneer was the murderer and the victim was one of the attendees, the fact that a witness testified to there being 11 attendees even after the murder doesn't make sense.
Hey, watch it! Y'all gotta call my good word into question now, too.
That's not what I mean. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I'm taking you at your word, which means there must be a co-conspirator.
I know it's hard, my boy, but sometimes you just have to accept that you're wrong.
Objection!
I wasn't wrong. I just hadn't considered the possibility of the killer having an accomplice. But as soon as we do, things start to fall into place. If the killer's accomplice returned to the auction room in place of the victim, there would indeed have been 11 attendees both before and after the murder. Taking Lotta Hart at her word seems so wrong. I know, especially for Edgeworth, right?
Well. So that's your thinking, is it? Certainly an intriguing theory. Surely the imposter would have been spotted right away.
I don't imagine that Nurse Needle looks strikingly different from the victim in build and stature. With the help of a mask, she could very easily have replaced Miss Ring without anybody noticing. Well, Nurse Needler, is that what happened? Did you take the victim's place at the auction?
I wouldn't do something like...
Now tell us, the ringleader, who were they?
I can't tell you, I just can't. Hit her Grandma too. Ow!
But Grandma... Don't you worry about me, I can take it. You just tell me everything, child.
But... Grandma!
Wow. Remind me never to make tapirs angry. That's scary. So I was right, she was an accomplice. Miss Needler. Why? Well, Miss Needler, can you explain yourself?
Yeah. Huh? Oh, thank you, Grandma, but I'm alright now.
I confess it, I changed place with Miss Ringer. So you admit that you were working with the ringleader?
Yeah, I was helping them. I don't know how, but
they found out Miss Ringer was going to attack him. The culprit was going to be attacked by the victim. They seemed pretty sure it was going to happen that night, so they made a counter plan. They wanted to strike first, and they wanted me to help them. I was told to go to the storeroom before the auction began and wait there.
Now hold on right there, Missy. I didn't see nothing. My eyes don't lie. If you'd have been there from before the auction, I would have bumped right into you. I was there the whole way through, and you weren't there for a bit of it.
But I'm not lying.
Well, that's easy for you to say, but you were lying about altering that report only a few minutes ago.
Objection!
I think we're all well aware of the number of potential hiding places in that storeroom.
Are we? Where exactly are you trying to say our friend the nurse was hiding, huh?
She's in the box. Nurse Needler hid here while she was waiting in the storeroom. She hid in the box, didn't she?
Take that!
Okay, she hid inside this clothes box.
Oh, she did she?
Huh?
Well, it was there the whole time, even before I moseyed on in. But like I done told y'all, it had them chains around it. Wanted to hide in there myself, really, but it was locked up tight, so I had to go elsewhere.
I imagine that's because Nurse Needle was already lying there by the time you arrived.
That's right, we didn't want anybody to open it or it would have really blown our cover. So the ringleader told me to climb in and wait until it was time for me part of the plan. And then they wrapped the old box in chains. I think they took the elevator downstairs not so long after. It was just before the auction was due to start.
So as the auction was beginning, you and Miss Hart would have been the only people in the storeroom.
Yeah, I think so.
The auction proceeded as always did, until a certain customer came upstairs to complete her purchase. That's when the incident occurred. Miss Hart overheard the victim and the culprit exchanging words around there.
You betcha. I was behind that statue there shaking like a dang leaf the whole time.
In the middle of their quarrel, Miss Ringer was killed by the auctioneer. I imagine that the auctioneer then carried Miss Ringer's body over to the clothes box, from which Nurse Needler emerged and swapped places with the victim. After placing Miss Ringer's body inside the box, Nurse Needler's role was now to pretend to be Miss Ringer. The two of them then returned to the room below as if nothing had happened. Well, well, well. Does that about what sum up what happened in the storeroom, Nurse Needler?
Yeah, in fact, that's exactly what happened. Hold up, so you just waltzed right back on in and nobody noticed? This is two completely different people we're talking about. You're telling me not a one of the other folks down there at the auction caught on? What would...
Wrong voice. Edgeworth with Lockhart's voice, terrifying. Why would they? The other auction guys had no reason to notice the difference when Nurse Needler entered because she was imitating the victim. Nope. Okay, when I said imitating, I meant with the mask and the voice changer. The game's taken me way too literally there. Yes, but how was she? Well, she was wearing the clothes, but like when she said impersonating her, I thought it meant the voice changer and the mask. You know. She did her best impression of Miss Ringer and her mannerisms. With her face covered, who would have noticed the difference?
You're yanking my chain, right? Anybody who took one look at what else she was wearing, that's who.
That was not the right answer, I guess. They were all wearing masks. What else would Nurse Needler have needed in order to disguise herself from Miss Ringer? The clothes.
Alright, you about ready to give us a sensible answer now? Come on, hit us. How come nobody got wise to the switcheroo?
She's stolen the victim's clothes. As we've seen, Miss Ringer and Nurse Needler are about the same build. What's more, the auction rules required attendees to wear their masks at all times. If Nurse Needler were wearing the same clothes as Miss Ringer, nobody would have been any the wiser.
No, they weren't. I borrowed Miss Ringer's clothes and ow! And left the poor child in her smalls. Have you no respect, girl? No, Grandma, I thought the same thing. It wouldn't be nice to leave her like that. So when the ringleader wasn't looking, I put that raincoat on her.
So that's how Miss Ringer came to be wearing it. Thus, the auction was able to carry on as before.
Guess the part where I caught the red raincoat on film came just after.
Yeah, it must be. Then it all makes sense.
Right after that was when I went on over and looked downstairs through the gap in the elevator. Spied me 11 happy little auction girls, then back I snuck to my little hidey hole.
Don't tell me you were hiding back there the entire time after that.
Well, that is, not exactly.
What is it? Did something happen?
So maybe I ought to have mentioned this before, but I fell asleep for a few weeks after that. Well, passed out unconscious, you might say.
What? What happened?
Oh, nothing much. Kind of silly, really, but there was a sudden loud noise, and it startled me just a little bit, you know. Alright, maybe more than a little, but I just witnessed a murder. Can't blame a girl for getting jumpy. Guess I got my heart shook and my head faint. Before I knew it, I was out like a light. By the time I came to, it was the next dang day. And there y'all were, clanking down that ladder.
I see, so you were startled by a loud noise and fell unconscious. I suppose that means you don't know what happened after that.
Not per se, but well, after the auction was over, all the mats were back on the rack. So I reckon the guests done finished up the Fallout 1 like they were supposed to.
Nurse Needler, once the auction had restarted, what exactly were you doing?
I was pretending to be Miss Ringer and placing bids just as the ringleader wanted.
I had to win the clothes box as I'd been instructed. It had a dead body inside after all. Imagine if somebody else had won it. We would have been in real trouble then. So you had no idea the victim had vacated the box in the meantime? No, not until we came back up so I could pay for it. That was when we noticed. The ringleader told me to go look for her right away. Except I found some other girl collapsed at the foot of the ladder instead. Kay. Yeah, she must have fallen from up on the roof and been knocked unconscious. Guess the victim must have left that hatch wide open, huh? That would explain it. Kay would have been so shocked by seeing Miss Ringer fall motionless right in front of her that she wouldn't have seen the open hatch and fallen right through it. That explains the noise that caused you to faint as well, Miss Hart. It was the sound of Kay crash landing onto the storeroom floor. Yeah, I suppose. Can't believe something like that didn't knock me out for so long, though. So in summary, by the time Miss Needle found Kay, you were already sound asleep behind the statue. I think we've got a good grasp on what occurred up to this point now. Nurse Needle, if you would continue? Sure, so I found Kay, and next I found Miss Ringer, and I put them both in the clothes box. We couldn't risk any of the auction guards seeing them. That would have caused a real hullabaloo. Was that your idea, or the ringleaders? Theirs. But putting the raincoat on Miss Ringer was my own idea. So I tried to get rid of it before they found out what I'd done. Huh. I imagine they were none too pleased when it showed up as a surprise piece of evidence in this case. And lastly, the ringleader and I put her in an auctioneer's outfit we prepared. Of course, which completed the deception and made everyone think she was the auctioneer. All in all, the auction finished up without anybody noticing anything. And that was that. Now that we know the extent of your crimes, Nurse Needler, if you have anything further to share, I'd advise you to do so immediately. I wish I could tell you more, but I'm sorry, that's all I know. Oh, except for one other thing. It did seem a little strange, I guess. When I was borrowing Miss Ringer's clothes, I took everything I could, but I couldn't take her hair, obviously, so... Oh! You're dang right you couldn't take her hair. What kind of medical professional are you? That's where you draw the line, so taking her clothes was okay? Her hair was totally different. The style, the length, everything. I kind of panicked. But the ringleader thought of everything, including wigs. 2 of them, in fact. There was a straight one and a wavy one. They were both stashed in the clothes box. 2 wigs, but why? Right, I wondered that too. I thought maybe they were worried she might have changed up her style. Anyway, I took the straight one. That was the one that matched her hair of the day. Leaving a wavy wig in the box. Okay. And that's everything you know. There's nothing else you're forgetting. No? Huh? No, really, Grandma. That's everything. And I take it that you really have no idea who the ringleader might be? Sorry, I only know they were in charge of the auction. Hey, Hades, welcome back. I didn't see them without their mask on. And they were pretty careful to keep their identity a secret from everyone. Ugh, if I can't get something concrete on them.
Oh, well, Miles, we're about done. You've proven the nurse was part of the murder plot. Sadly for you, it doesn't change a whole lot. Because it does nothing to prove that Kay Faraday ain't the ringleader. And justice must prevail. We can't change the law even for your sake.
Is this it? Am I not going to be able to save Kay?
Objection!
Francisco, what are you doing here?
As I told you before, Mars Edgeworth, that the case leads I follow. Your dedication is an inspiration to us all. But don't go getting the wrong idea, little brother. I'm only here to deliver the truth regarding the suspect. I'm certainly not here to forgive you for abandoning the way of the prosecutor.
I understand that.
You should thank your former subordinate for what I'm about to share. In his desperation to help Kay Faraday, he gave me a valuable piece of information.
Detective Gumshoe did that? Gumshoe moment. We'd love to see it.
Prepare yourself, Mars Edgeworth, for the final piece of the puzzle. Rosie Ringer's head wound was the first of the injuries she suffered, not the second.
Franny?
Well, someone say something.
Yes, there's no easy way to say this, Francisca, but we already proved that ourselves.
You what?
Yes, just if...
Oh! But why did you say so sooner?
You didn't exactly give us a chance.
And I suppose you know about the murder weapon too.
No, not yet. Ha! Good. Then listen up. The victim was struck on the head with a blunt object bearing a circular surface, and the wounds to the chest were actually inflicted post-mortem. A circular...
Objection.
She's been beaten with the teddy bear.
And you're certain of that, I assume? Your sources are above board?
Two trusted medical professionals reached the same conclusion independently. You couldn't ask for more.
Objection.
That's certainly good to know. Unfortunately, you're of a separate bounds.
Of that, I am the prosecutor in charge of Interpol's investigation into the underground auction. And this murder occurred during that auction, it would be negligent of me not to pursue leads pertaining to related parties. Fucking hell! Especially the victim.
No fear. Ma, you've really become quite the force to be reckoned with, haven't you, my dear?
Then all parties are in agreement. The victim died from a blow to the head. Okay, understood. Sadly, the murder weapon itself has yet to be identified. Ha! Based on the shape, I might have an idea or two. But guys, I didn't turn up any other weapon during my investigation. And yet one need only think about the setting and an auctioneer's tools, and the answer should be obvious. An object with a circular surface used in an auction. We're obviously talking about... I thought it was the... Let me show you what I thought it was. I thought it was this bit of the recording device. What would an auctioneer have readily at hand? An auctioneer's hammer, of course. We never found one of those. If the auctioneer was indeed the killer, it does seem a likely candidate for the murder weapon. But without the evidence to support your theory, it remains nothing more than that. Oh, I have just the evidence you need right here. This piece of evidence strongly suggests the auctioneer's hammer was the murder weapon. I think it's this.
Take that!
Miss Hart told us something very important about the auction after the murder occurred. She said that the very prominent sound of the auctioneer's hammer could no longer be heard. Now, why would that be? I'll tell you why. Because it had just been used in a murder and was covered in the victim's blood. It would need to be disposed of. Isn't that right? Chairman Winner. I'll have our people look into this right away.
Oh, you really are like a dog with a bone, aren't you, dear boy? But you can't dedicate yourself to a cause when you're young. When can you?
He seems very confident we'll never find it. Very well. A search for the murder weapon will be conducted. In the meantime, this course is in recess. Understood. Oh, to be continued. Okay, this seems like a good place to wrap things up, because can you hear my voice? Can you hear the scratchiness coming in? Oh man, Winner's voice is really hard. Okay. I'm going to go get some throat sweets and a lemon sip, I think. Okay. So, tomorrow's Oblivion, and we're playing from probably 1:30 PM UK time. I'm going for a longer stream than normal, so we're probably talking like 5-6 hours maybe. I'm enjoying the long Oblivion streams. They're fun. They're very, very, very fun. In the meantime, cheers for the hangs, guys. I'm pretty much just going to wrap straight up and just go rest up, because I'm super, super tired right now. I hope that's all good. It's been fun, though. It's been fun. And with all being well, I'll see you guys tomorrow for some Oblivion, but I'm going to start putting a schedule for next week together. I need to try and find out what's going on with band practice. We were meant to have one last week, and then it never happened. And then I asked about this week, and it never happened. And then we need to try and work out what's going on with next week. But for the minute, I'm going to go rest up, grab myself a lemon sip, maybe some alcohol. You know, that's a great idea. Mix paracetamol and booze. What could go wrong? Cheers for the hangs in the meantime. I'll see you all very soon. Look after yourselves, and enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you soon.